Yes. Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, once again, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here for video number 2 on your beautiful Saturday afternoon, September the 20th, 2025. Thank you all for watching this video on the former home of the Gilmore Chronicles, now known as the Shadows Lair 2.0, a very dark and mysterious and evil Shadows Lair 2.0, and this is episode number 86 of the Shadows Lair 2.0 series. Thank you for watching once again. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there in the Shadows Lair, otherwise known as the description box below, on this channel and my other channels as well. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but if you leave super comments, you'll get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Ozzy and Satan will eat your soul. Don't do it. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you do, you're pretty much SOL. You know what that means, motherfuckers. And if you don't know what it means, look it up. And for our first-time viewers, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that cold one, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, fuck you, man. And that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for All Out Toronto. The pre-show's just about to end. Main show's about to start as I'm actually recording this video. So, enjoy All Out. I already did my predictions on the last video, so go back a video and watch my All Out predictions video on episode 85 of the Shadows Lair. And that's that. Alright, we move on with that. Alright, so it should be a great show for Wrestlepalooza, the first pay-per-view on ESPN app. So it's going to be a big event. Hunter's predicting, well, not predicting, Hunter's promising some surprises, some people going to show up. And it's going to be a big, huge, I don't know how many hours this might last, probably 3, maybe 4 hour event. So we're going from 3 to probably 11 o'clock tonight, so lots of wrestling tonight, because All Out should be at least 3, maybe 4 hours going into Wrestlepalooza. But we'll see what happens with that. But both pay-per-views should be pretty good. I think Wrestlepalooza will be the actual better pay-per-view of the day. Let's see what happens with that. Alright, so on episode 86 of the Shadows Lair 2.0 series, it is time for your quick Wrestlepalooza 2025 predictions. Wrestlepalooza comes your way tonight from the Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Home of the Pacers, the world champion of basketball, the Pacers. And we got that. And it's great that Wrestlepalooza is coming back, using it for the first time, you know, because ECW used to use it a lot. The last actual Wrestlepalooza event, was held in the first one was 1995, the last one in 2000, and the 1998 one was on pay-per-view, like all the other ones after Bailey Legal. We got that. Alright, so we got that. So the first ever Wrestlepalooza for the WWE brand or promotion, whatever you want to call it, comes your way tonight. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Should be a great show. 5 matches. I thought it was 6, but it's 5. But these matches are bangers. Well, maybe one of them is not, but still. Alright, we're going to go from top to bottom, because I think that's going to be the order tonight. So we're going to start off with the big one that really should have been the main event, but it's going to be the open of the show, and that's that. I dropped my fucking... That didn't drop it, but, you know, it's my, I don't know what this is. Rosa got this shit. I knocked it almost over. I did not get over. Shut up. Anyway. She's belly aching, as always. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to start with John Cena taking on Brock Lesnar. Cena's got, after this one, got 5 more appearances. We're going to see John on our television screen and pay-per-view. the next time we see John on our TV screen will be Crown Jewel, October the 11th. And then after that, we'll see him a couple times in... Well, after this is, I think, 5. So we got Crown Jewel, the Raw in Boston, the Raw in New York. I think there's one more, I think in October or November. And then, Survivor Series. Forgot about that. Raw Games in San Diego. And then the final one, December the 13th in Washington, D.C., his retirement match. Against who? Don't know. It can't be Randy because they already did that. Might be Punk. Might be. I don't know. It should be Roman. Roman should... Roman and Cena. That would be great for a Saturday Night Main event. And Roman just smashes him again and sends him back to Newbury, Massachusetts. A broken piece of crap. But it is what it is. But anyway. This match is going to be... I fear for Johnny. I would dare say we're going to get what happened to him 11 years ago, where Brock just murdered him. 30-something German suplexes, a couple of F5s, and then beat him easily. I don't think it's going to happen. Some of that might happen tonight. A lot of people are picking Brock to just destroy Cena. But I'm going to pick Cena somehow, someway. I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going to go with my gut, which usually doesn't agree with me sometimes, but I'm going to go with my gut. And I'm going to pick Cena to beat Beastie. I know it's not going to sit well with Issa, but I'm going with John Cena to beat Beastie by... Don't know. I think some ways, like, Cena's going to use his Super Cena strength and beat Beastie somehow. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brock comes out with Paul Heyman what happened on SmackDown last night when they say, "Oh, we have to talk, Paul." That might have been a favor, personally. I don't know. Well, we got that. So I'm going to go with Cena to beat Brock. I'll be off and running. Alright, match number 2, the Usos. Jimmy and Jay reuniting against the B&B Security, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. And Paul Heyman will be at ringside. So we got that. Great to see the Usos back. Back as, teaming up again. They talked about the Uso Penitentiary. I loved that last night. Throw up your ones for the Usos. Because it's day one, it's just me, Us. Day one, ish. Can't wait to hear that. It's going to be great tonight. They've had, both of them had problems with The Vision and Seth Rollins. And in some ways, Paul Heyman. But I think the Usos will get the win tonight. A lot of people are saying that Jay is going to turn. Maybe, but I'm going to go with the Usos to pick up the victory. Because it makes no sense to just reunite them to get their butts kicked. Because that happened on Raw the last couple weeks. Both, and Jimmy on SmackDown one time, I believe. But we get that. So I'm going to go with the Usos to pick up the victory, and we get that. Alright, All Out has just started. Edge and Christian versus FTR will start the show, so I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Let's fire up the VPN in a little bit to just check in. That's that. Alright, so the Usos will get the win. Match number 3. Match number 3. We've got a mixed tag team match. CM Punk and his hot wife, AJ Lee, got Aish. Then she got Seth freaking Rollins. Burn it down. And his hot wife, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. It's going to be a great match. AJ coming back after 10 years, 11 years, whatever it was. Coming back to a raucous ovation in Chicago. Beating the crap out of Becky. And then, actually finally taking a bump last week. Nothing really this week. I was surprised. Was it this week? Yeah, I think she took a bump this week. But in any case, it's going to be a, great match. I'll go with Punky Brewster and his hot wife, AJ Lee, to beat Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. People are saying that Seth Rollins and Becky should win this match. I mean, yeah, I understand that it would be shocking, but AJ Lee should not take the pin here. She should not. So it make no sense to bring her back, have her on SmackDown, then have her on Raw, I think for about a week or so, and then she loses her first match back. Makes no sense. So I think the logical thing to do, and we always go by logic here, so I'm going to go with CM Punk and AJ to get the win. I think AJ will get the pin on Becky, and then maybe they do something with Becky and AJ, that AJ fights Becky for the Women's Intercontinental title. AJ maybe wins that. I don't know. At Crown Jewel or whatever they do. I don't know. We get that. We move on with that. So AJ and CM Punk will get the win there. Alright, then we get to the vacant Raw Women's Championship match where we have La Primera, Stephanie Vercour, or Stephanie Velcro for you people, takes on my third amazingly hot Asian wife, the woman that's crazy. She uses baby metal. You know, she listens to baby metal. She told me herself. They do this too. That's where it started. But anyway, I think Io just stole it. It is what it is. But anyway, Io Sky. This is going to be a great match. They fought before, but no result. So it's going to be good. I hate doing this. I know I love Io so much, but I think Stephanie Vercour is going to finally win the Raw Women's Championship, and then I think at Crown Jewel, we might see Stephanie Vercour against Mommy Rhea Ripley, who says she has next. So it would make no sense to have Io, Mommy Rhea Ripley, like match number 6 or whatever, and then maybe Mommy beats Io this time, but I mean, we'll see. But I think Stephanie Vercour is going to beat Io. Thanks to Asuka, because Asuka's going to probably come out with Kylie! And then cost Io the match, and then on Raw, Io's going to get pissed. I mean, pissed. Talking in Japanese, and then that's going to probably happen at Crown Jewel, or maybe they save that for Saturday Night's Main Event in November before Survivor Series. And Cena would not be on that one, unless they somehow work out a deal that Cena does a couple more appearances. I doubt that, but I mean, it's up to Cena, but we'll see. He has 5 after tonight, so I don't know if they're going to add a couple, but I doubt it. We'll move on. So Stephanie Vercour will beat Io for the Raw Women's Championship, and then we'll see what happens on Monday with her and Asuka and Kylie. And then Stephanie will probably go into her program with Mommy Rhea Ripley, and we'll see what happens with that. We move on. Then, sadly, the main event of Wrestlepalooza for the undisputed WWE title, Cody, MDK like Cody, takes on Papucho, Drew McIntyre. And we all know the story here, what happened last night on SmackDown, with the contract signing, and Drew beat up Cody, but he didn't beat him up. You know, he was about to hit him with a Claymore through the announce table, but he held back, says, I want you at 100%. When I beat you for the belt and get back what's mine. And then Cody with the suicide dive, they had the fight, and then Drew hits the Claymore on Cody to end the show. So, logically, Cody will win this, because usually when the heels, they hold up the belt, usually the champions will retain. Sometimes the champions hold up the belt at the end and they lose. So, but I really want Drew to win. I'm going to pick Drew to win, but logically, Cody's going to retain. But you never know. But I'm going to go with Papucho to get the win over Cody, and that's it. Alright, guys, that is my Wrestlepalooza predictions. And that's pretty much it. So leave me your predictions down below in the comment section. And that's pretty much it. Alright, to recap my predictions, I got Cena to beat Beastie, Brock Lesnar. I got the Usos to beat Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, B&B Security. I got Punky Brewster and his hot wife AJ Lee to beat Seth freaking Rollins and his hot wife Becky Lynch. I got Stephanie Vercour to sadly beat my third amazingly hot Asian wife Io Sky to become the new Raw Women's Champion. And in the main event, I got, I know it's going to be Cody, but I got Drew McIntyre to pull off the upset and win the Undisputed title from Cody, and Cody goes into obscurity. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so enjoy Wrestlepalooza tonight on the ESPN app, or wherever you're going to watch it from. We got that. Alright, I'm going to fire up the VPN, and I'm going to go watch, I'm going to go watch All Out right now. FTR and Edge and Christian are fighting right now. Actually, I shouldn't even do that. Let me go to the pre-show. I'll give you the pre-show matches. What happened there. Because I know FTR and Edge and Christian just started. Yeah, just started. Alright, so on the pre-show, we had the Ops, Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Will Hobbs, beat the fuck out of the Workhorsemen. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Anthony Henry and J.D. Drake. So the Ops win by submission. Obviously, Samoa Joe probably choked out one of them. So they get the win. That was an obviously easy match. Danny Garcia beat Katsuyori Shibata by pinfall. Domina Shafir was there. So I think I got all the pre-show matches actually right, you know? So, started off pre-show 3-0, but we'll see what happens with the main show. If I go perfect, like I did at, the last NXT show, I believe. Was it? I went perfect on something. It was, Shit! I forgot. The last show that happened. Oh, those, Worlds Collided went perfect 6-0. Perfect. So far I'm perfect through the pre-show, but we'll see what happens with that. So, we got that. Danny Garcia beat Katsuyori Shibata by pinfall. And in that 8-woman tornado tailgate brawl, we had Team Willow Nightingale, Queen Aminata, the one and only, Holly Cameron, and my fourth amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina. They beat Megan Bain, the Megasis, Penelope Ford, and the Triangle, or 2/3 of the Triangle Madness, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I think by pinfall, or I don't know how that ended, but I didn't watch the pre-show, so I'm just reading off the copy, so we get that. But right now, Edge and Christian and FTR probably starting a banger right now, so we'll get that. The main event will be actually, the ladder match is going to be, I think, ending the show. I'm reading the Wikipedia page right now. So Hangman and Adam Page will go on number 7, because they're going to 3, because they're 13 matches, unless they add one that I didn't know about. But so that's going to go on 7th, and then Big Cass and Eddie Kingston will go on before the main event. Shocking. I guess that's the cooldown match. And then the main event is the Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team titles between Bo Dito, the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and Heath Chaser and Josh Alexander. So that's going on last, which is surprising. I thought it would be Hangman and Fletcher going on last, but obviously not. But then again, card subject to change, of course. So we'll see what happens with that. But right now, Edge and Christian are fighting FTR with Stokely Hathaway at ringside. And we'll see what happens with that. Should be a pretty interesting match, and we got that. Alright, I'm gonna go watch All Out right now. I'm like 12 minutes late, but probably the match just started with the entrances and the shit, so we got that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. I will be back later tonight with your All Out review over on my Peter Joseph channel, and then early tomorrow, probably like before football goes on the air, we'll talk about Wrestlepalooza, do that review, and then tomorrow night we'll do TNA and Ring of Honor review for this week, and then pretty much we're hopefully gonna be back to normal because next weekend we got No Mercy from NXT. Then we got a week off, and then we got a whole slate of pay-per-views coming up. After that, we got Crown Jewel on that Saturday. 3 weeks from today, I think it's Crown Jewel. And then we got Bound for Glory 3 weeks from tomorrow, October the 12th. And then weekend after that, we got Wrestle Dream from AEW on October the 18th. And then after that, October the 25th, we got the actual last pay-per-view that, before we get a break again. And that's going to be October the 25th, Halloween Havoc for NXT. And that's it. But lots of great wrestling coming your way this week. We got the NXT TNA Invasion possibly on Tuesday night. Raw Aftermath of Wrestlepalooza. Dynamite Aftermath for All Out. TNA Ring of Honor. Normal shows. Actually, TNA this week will be the go-home show before Victory Road this coming Friday. That should be an interesting event. And then SmackDown. We got the SmackDown after Wrestlepalooza. We got that. And then, like I said, next Saturday is No Mercy. That is at 7 p.m. next Saturday from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We'll do our predictions probably Friday or sometime Saturday. Probably we'll probably do it next Saturday afternoon before the pay-per-view. And we got that. So episode number 87 of The Shadows there will be coming up next week. This coming week, I should say. Yeah, next week, whatever. Don't think we're going to get to 100. We'll see, but there's a lot of pay-per-views, a lot of predictions videos. I think we got 87, No Mercy, Crown Jewel, Bound for Glory. That's 87, 80, 89. 90 will be... 90 will be Halloween Havoc. 91 will be Saturday's Main Event. 92 will be my Thanksgiving episode. 93 will be Survivor Series. 94 will be... Yeah, we won't get to 100 till next year. So, sadly we didn't get to it this year, but it is what it is. This is just a predictions channel. It's just like a vlog / predictions channel. I don't use it a lot, but I just use it just to do predictions. But I don't know if I'm going to get rid of it, but I just have 4 main channels. But I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I might put this channel over to my main channel, my Kill Demons channel. I mean, but we'll see what happens with that. That's that. But that's what's coming up this year for the rest of the year. I do got a Christmas episode coming up, and I do got my end of the year review, probably 95, 96, I think. We'll see what happens with that as we get through the end of the year. And I will be here throughout the rest of the year into next year. So good things happen. There was a little bit of a scare that I wasn't going to be able to do shows coming up by the end of the year, but thankfully, got good news on my job, getting a raise, so more money coming in. So because bills are piling up, and might not have all that shit for the rich man's internet and all that shit, but we have that. Let me move on. Alright guys, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go watch All Out. I'll see you guys later tonight, way after Wrestlepalooza. So enjoy both pay-per-views. Should be great. If anything does happen, I'll put up some shorts here and there on my Peter Joseph or my rant channel, PG Rants. So check those out. I have a short up on my Peter Joseph channel. Check that out. And that's it. We're getting close to 900 subscribers on the Peter Joseph channel. We're at 882 right now. So about 18 away. We might get there by Halloween. Maybe after Halloween, at least if we don't get there by Halloween, definitely before Thanksgiving. But I don't think we're not gonna get to 1,000 till probably, I'm hoping by WrestleMania, but if not, probably sometime by the summer of next year we'll hit 1,000 subscribers on the Peter Joseph channel. We'll get that. But please subscribe to this channel and my other channels as well. Links are all down in the gobbledygook. And that's that. Alright, I'm out of here. Until next time. Peace.